I think my expectation of law before joining Macfarlanes was that it would be kind of quite academically rigorous and a bit stressful, and that was definitely my expectation before I started.
My experience of law before Macfarlanes was quite different to how it is now, predominantly because I was in a much smaller team. So the differences were, for me, you kind of were fending for yourself a bit more. You didn't have the support network that you have for being in a bigger team.
So my first experience of lawyers was actually when I was working in a bank, and I remember where we would come across the legal team in-house would be if there was something particularly complicated or challenging or something that we didn't actually know how to resolve it. That would be the time when we'd say we probably need to get the lawyers involved.
I think one of the things that has really surpassed my expectations is just the kind of environment of learning that Macfarlanes creates. You know, the kind of lessons that they put on, or the approachability of partners and solicitors. That has really impressed me, and it's meant that the training contract wasn't as scary as I thought at the start.
It's what I find now, being at Macfarlanes, being in a bigger team, is you have a much bigger support network. You have not just your peers who you can go and ask to, who you can go and ask questions to and speak to about queries you have.
It is a challenging environment, so my expectation was that I was going to be faced with complicated issues, and that's certainly been the case. But it's also been really rewarding, so being in a position where you can listen to those client concerns and resolve them is actually the most rewarding aspect of the job for me.
I found when I came for my interview, the partners were incredibly nice. They spoke to you in such a nice way that you felt welcomed into the firm. That was a major thing. Another thing would be the size of the firm. So Macfarlanes is almost at that kind of perfect size where it's big enough to get involved in really big deals that are really important and kind of really good to work on. But you don't feel that you're a cog in a massive machine, and you can kind of make a name for yourself.
We are a London-based law firm. We don't have offices all over the world, and the reason for that is because of our varied practice. We like to be able to go into the jurisdictions in which we operate and pick out the most suitable firm in that jurisdiction for our client and for the transaction which we're working on. And that flexibility, I think, really helps us deliver the quality of service to our clients that we want to.
And you've got a team around you. You're encouraged to kind of meet as many people as you can in the firm, not just people who are in your team, but people outside your team in the different departments. And they have things like the PQE dinners where you get to go and meet other associates in different teams, which is a really good way to get to know people who you wouldn't normally work with on a deal.
In general, to train anywhere as a solicitor, I think information is power. So definitely go out, try to find out as much information as you can about the firm and the areas in which they operate. Try to meet as many people as you can at those firms, because that does really give you a sense of the culture of the firm.
A lot of these events that you put on, they're super important to go to, because actually it's seeing people and interacting with people who work at the firm. You can then quickly kind of gauge what type of person they're looking for. And that's not to say that there's kind of one type of person, but there's definitely attributes that come across from a lot of Macfarlanes lawyers.
When I was looking for a training contract, you think, how much can I learn from an open day? You're there for 8 hours or something, how much can you actually learn about a firm? But it's actually a great deal of information, and if you go to those open days, see yourself as kind of fitting in with the people that are there, I think that's really valuable.